Hey, it's time for some Monday Mamas. It's Tuesday, but yesterday was a holiday, so today's really Monday. I'm coming at you guys today from Kelowna, BC, so I'll show you my current view here this morning. Pretty calm, pretty serene, just chilling. My husband and I won a trip through a hockey tournament, so there's the perk of going to all the hockey, is that we won a trip. So we are enjoying our first morning waking up away. I had an awful bout of food poisoning over the weekend. I'm still not 100%, but we made the 7-hour drive yesterday by God's good grace, with no accidents. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to a week of just kind of some calm and some rest. And I woke up this morning and I'm still reading the book called The Midnight Library, which if you haven't read it, I'd highly suggest it. Let me give you guys a quick shot of it here. This is it. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Super good book. It's a novel, it's a story, it's lovely, but it's just got a lot of really good content in it, and it's got my brain going. So, but I don't really, I'm not going to do a super long video today. I just really wanted to connect today with you guys just to follow up on last week of, we talked last week about just that sense of being burdened and the weight that we carry and the need for finding the tension between pushing hard and resting. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but anytime I get hit by some sort of like a flu bug or food poisoning, and I'm laying in bed for days, which is so unlike me, I'm just reminded of how much doesn't matter. And I mean that in the best way. But when I'm laying in bed and I'm feeling, and I couldn't get out of bed for all day Saturday, it didn't matter. I wasn't thinking about all the stuff. I wasn't thinking about, this is important to me, but I wasn't thinking about exercising or being healthy, or eating the right things. I was just thinking about taking care of myself, and I just wanted to see my sweet little people. I wanted my kids to come and see me, and I wanted my husband to take care of me. And it became very evident, I find, in those moments what really matters. And it's funny because in those moments you're really aware of it, and then life, you feel better and you're back in it, and then suddenly like you just keep progressing and go right back to normal. And maybe this book is also kind of talking about that, like as we're searching through life and as we're trying to build these lives that are great and balanced and have health and have excitement and have growth, it's really easy to just get caught up going and going and going and going. And we need to be cautious that as we continue going, that we don't forget what really matters. Because if we get to the end of this and we haven't built the relationships with those people in our lives that really matter and spent the time with them and loved on them well, then does it matter? And I'm in a beautiful spot of, I have this lovely cleaning company that I adore, and has really grown more than I ever could have imagined. And we're at this beautiful spot of trying to decide how we continue. How do we grow? Do we stay? Do we add services? Who are we as a company? What do we stand for? And I really value rest. It's probably because I struggle to rest, so I have a high value for it. I need to focus on it. I need to try for it. But because I have this beautiful company, I'm always pushing to grow and to move and to go, and that's great, and I love it. But when I honestly think at the end of days, if something were to happen to me and I'm laying in a hospital bed, what matters? Does the growth and the success of my life matter, or does my relationship with my kids and my husband and my family, does that matter? And that's kind of where I'm sitting and where I'm wrestling right now, is how do I build a life that I love? How do I build a life that is healthy, that is strong, that is driven, and yet that is also sitting in rest and sitting in founded, maybe is better the word, founded in rest and health and this real sense of knowing myself. So that's where I'm struggling. That's where I'm sitting. I wanted to share that with you guys, and really just continue to push you guys to draw to live in this tension of pushing hard and going fast and doing all the things, and also resting and taking care of yourself and making sure that what you're putting your life into, what you're saying yes to, are the things that are actually the things that define who you are. And I had written on our board at home a little while ago a quote that I'd heard in a podcast, and I don't remember where now, but it was essentially saying, your life is the quality of the questions you ask yourself. And so then to ask yourself, what questions are you asking yourself? And in our house, this worked. We were talking to our son about when you make decisions at school, he's 8, when you make decisions at school that are bad choices. So when you get caught up playing with the kids and throwing the dirt, for instance, what question did you ask yourself in the middle of that? Did you ask yourself, is this the right choice? Did you ask yourself, is this going to be a good decision? Or did you ask yourself, what will everyone think of me if I don't do this? And oftentimes, we have an 8-year-old boy, their choices are made out of this sense of, what will other people think of me? And he's 8, and maybe that's actually how we all think, is we're asking this question of, what will other people think? And so we make decisions out of there, and therefore we're creating these lives that are based out of what we think other people want our lives to be out of. And so maybe the questions we need to start asking ourselves is, how will this decision, how can I show people I care? What decision can I make? How can I do this so that people know that I care about them? I don't know. I just think we need to start changing the quality of the questions that we ask ourselves. And if the quality of the questions we're asking ourselves is truly reflective on who we are, who we want to be. I want to be a person who is caring. I want to be a person who is true to my word, who is steadfast, who is loyal, who is driven. So I need to ask questions that push me in that direction. So I don't need to be asking myself, what will other people think? I need to be asking myself, what is this true to my values? If my value is rest, for this season of life that we're in right now, which it is for spring and summer, we have chosen rest. Then when the question of kids' sports and kids' activities comes at me, I don't really need to think about it, because the question is, does that align with our values right now? No. Having my kid in 15 sports during the spring doesn't align with rest. So the answer to that question is no. When they say, are your kids going to play sports? No. It's simple, it's easy, and I don't feel a conflict with that answer, because I know where it's coming from. So I hope that wasn't confusing. I hope that was helpful. But to start to ask better questions of yourselves. Start to ask questions that bring out who you want to be. Think about who you want to be. Think about where you want to sit on that line between driven and rest. I think we spend so much time just going. And I really want to challenge you guys to start to slow down. Take your foot off the gas and slow down and decide where you want to be. And then once you know where you want to be, then start asking yourself, know what your values are, and then start asking yourself questions that reflect those values when you're faced with different things in life that come in. And maybe that'll help move you towards the dreams and goals that you guys are setting for yourselves. So that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you have a great Tuesday. I hear that Carstairs, the smoke is cleared, so praise be to the Lord, and I hope you guys have a great day.